everybody, and welcome to the Positively Disney podcast. I'm Kimberly Bouchard, the author and your host tonight for the show. If you are interested in some positive stories, take a look at my books, the Positively Disney book series, Heartwarming Stories about Disney's impact on people's lives, as well as how Star Wars impacted their lives. Disney affects us in so many ways, and I really can't wait to share with you our guest who had a very special birthday recently. And before we get on to that, I just want to thank my sponsor, Michelle McCune at Ears of Experience. You can reach her at MMCKEOWN at themouseexperts.com or give her a call at 732-735-1779. And something really wonderful about her services, besides the concierge, special needs, and just about anything under the sun that you desire, she has texting. Texting privileges as far as anything that you need. If you are on your way or in your park or at your destination, kind of wondering about things, you can always give her a text message and she will help you out in a jiffy. This is actually a very special day today, and I just want to do a shout out to my son, Christoph. It's his 22nd birthday today, so happy birthday, Christoph. And my other son's birthday was last weekend. Tristan's birthday was his 20th birthday. And I don't know about you guys that have younger kids, but it just seems to go by so quickly. And I woke up last weekend realizing that I didn't have teenagers left, which was a little bit bittersweet, but I wouldn't change it. But I just enjoy every moment this month and, the beginning of this month, anyways, as well as the latter part of February, our birthday months for our family. We have 3 birthdays in 8 days that we celebrate. And, birthdays are those occasions that, unless you're a twin or triplet or something like that, usually it is your day. You don't have to celebrate it with anybody else. And I really love birthdays, and I think it's really important to celebrate them accordingly. I have been very fortunate to have a couple of buttons. I was given a Disneyland happy birthday button. It wasn't my birthday at Disneyland at the time. It was my friend's birthday, actually, and we celebrated in a very special way. And funnily enough, that friend, it is her husband's her late father's birthday today as well. And recently on my trip to Florida, I did get a birthday button for myself, which was really fun to be able to wear that little badge of honor. And we were visiting, I'd mentioned last program, we were visiting with some friends that have been our friends for almost 30 years at Walt Disney World. And it was actually his birthday the next day, and mine was going to be 10 days later. So we thought, okay, well, we'll just get birthday buttons, and we celebrated at the hoop-de-doo. But in the meanwhile, while we were wearing our buttons, of course, you get the celebratory well-wishing happy birthday. And something that we thought was really fun is my friend, he said that we were twins. Of course, it was very obvious we were. Just some cast members didn't know whether to say anything or realize that we were joking, but we had good fun with it. And it's always nice to just have some extra fun on your birthday in a Disney park. A lot of people, of course, don't get to go to the parks for their birthday and have other kinds of experiences for their birthday. So if you happen to be one of those people, feel free to give me a shout after my guest is on. The number is 844-483-4763. I'd like to hear if you celebrated a birthday in the park in a special way, or have you had a Disney themed birthday? Another person I want to just give a mention to before we bring our guest on the line is a lovely lady, Michelle Strickland Anderson's mom, celebrated her 100th birthday at Disneyland. And she had, of course, they had made a t shirt for her. She wore it around the park and said, it just, happy birthday. Basically, I'm 100 years old today. And she had the birthday pin, and I think they had a hat for her. And a lot of the people still asked her after wishing her happy birthday if she was actually 100 years old, to which she admitted, of course, yes. And it was actually on that day. And I thought to myself, gosh, to be 100 years old and not only wanting to celebrate, but celebrating it big in Disneyland. So she had an absolutely wonderful day with her children and grandchildren. And I'll never forget, that story is, I think it's the first book, actually, first or second book, but it was so endearing and it meant so much to her mom to have her birthday acknowledged. Unlike my mom, who is of a certain age and she does not want to admit to her age at all, and age is a number. And so she's just kind of keeping that age at bay because she definitely doesn't look her age, nor does she act it when she travels all over the world and stuff like that. So I'm very grateful that my mom is healthy, and I hope to maybe do a Disney experience with her when she turns 100. Just want to welcome my hubby, welcome Frank to the show. John Little, it's great to see you. Hope you're feeling better. And Kate Wallace, thank you so much for joining me tonight. So, we're going to get our guest on the line. And I have to tell you that it took everything in my power not to tear up when I was listening to her story and reading a little bit about it on Facebook. Some of you may have caught a little snippet of her story, but it's very, very touching. Her experience in Disneyland not too long ago. And I just can't wait to have her on here to share this really, really neat idea that she had to celebrate her birthday. So we're just actually going to get her on the line. We're dialing her now. And again, please feel free to share some experiences as well of your own. I hear the
Hello.
Hi, Ria. Welcome to the show. How are you doing?
Hi, Kim. I'm doing fine. Thank you. Thank you for calling.
Oh, I'm so glad that you are able to join us tonight, because I was just telling the folks that I said it took everything in my power not to tear up, when I was talking to you, and definitely teared up when I was reading, about what you did on Facebook. But before we get into that, so what day were you actually in Disneyland? What day was that again that you had celebrated your birthday?
It was February 17th, which
February
is
17th.
actually, yeah, it's actually was on my actual
It,
birthday.
and that is so cool, because often most of us kind of have it near, our birthday, if we get to wear that birthday button, if we're lucky enough to be in the park. But you actually were there. Have you visited the Disney parks before?
Yes, I've been very fortunate over the years to have gone quite a few times.
Quite a few times, yeah. Oh, that's so wonderful. I'm really glad to hear that. Sometimes those birthday uh well, not parties, but get-togethers or whatever, are sort of once in a lifetime thing. So I understand. Yeah, we're very blessed that we've been able to go, the times that we have, for sure. So you actually celebrated a milestone birthday, and I was curious to know. I mean, most people that celebrate a milestone birthday want to do something special. So, can you tell everybody what birthday you celebrated and what prompted you to celebrate it in Disneyland?
Well, it was my 40th birthday,
Okay.
and that's obviously a milestone for many of us.
Yes.
So for me, I went back and forth a little bit on what to do, and I had kind of actually concluded I was going to do nothing or celebrate it alone.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Really, kind of we're in transition, moving, and a lot of things going on, and birthdays sometimes can be a little bit hard. I am
Yeah.
a twin,
Yes.
and I actually lost my twin brother a number of years ago, and
Right.
um, as much as I do try to embrace life and celebrate, it can sometimes be very sad.
Sure.
But I do think that helps me to appreciate a lot of the people that are in my life now,
Mhm.
and look for ways to find joy, even
Yeah.
though it can be hard.
Yeah.
I was fortunate to celebrate with other people and was going to be in San Diego, and I thought, oh my goodness, well, if I'm that close to Disneyland, it seemed like a logical next step to plan to do that on my birthday.
Yeah. Isn't it funny how if we're any near any vicinity of a Disney park, we're always checking the and navigating the idea of doing. And I was just curious. So I know you drove from San Diego to Anaheim. How long of a drive is that?
It's only about an hour if
Oh,
traffic's good, so
wow.
it wasn't
Oh,
too bad, and I
wow.
actually enjoyed driving. So I was a little bit more. I came from Arizona, so first it was about 5 or 6 hours, and then it was another hour. So
Oh, okay. But you know what? For some reason, I didn't realize that Disneyland was as close to San Diego as it is. Wow, because San Diego's a beautiful area to live as well. Wow.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
oh gosh. So now, okay, so you were going to do it alone, and then you decided to drive. Now you went to San Diego first, I think, right? Did you? Or
Yes,
okay.
a dear friend of mine, she turned 40. A
Oh,
friend that I've known, my friend Sylvia, going back to second grade.
yeah.
We were celebrating her 40th birthday weekend, so it's
Oh.
been kind of a year of celebration. A lot of us are turning 40.
Hmm.
But it was actually during that drive where it kind of allowed me to hatch this plan where it's like, I'm not going to celebrate my birthday alone.
Yeah.
So the wheels started kind of turning, and my
Ah.
husband was able to fly over and meet me on Monday morning. He got a one-way plane ticket to join me on
Oh,
Monday.
oh, well, isn't that nice? Oh my gosh. So that was really like last minute on the on the road and kind of
Yeah, a
getting
little
it going.
bit. Yeah.
Nice. Oh my gosh. So now, I mean, I was mentioning to the folks that I have actually two birthday pins. One is at Disneyland, which was given to me with a bunch of pins because I was so excited. I got my very first Disney dress. It's those I can't remember. I don't know what the brand is or whatever, but those really cute Disney. You could wear that kind of skirt underneath if you want. I think you had one
Yes.
on, didn't you? Didn't you wear
Yes,
one?
I did. It's
Yeah.
from the dress shop.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Yours was
Yes.
so cute. I loved yours too. I had my
Thank
eye on
you.
that one. And the one I got was sort of a little retro turquoise, a little bit of red with white polka dots at the bottom and Minnie Mouse on there. And actually, what was really funny, has anybody seen the new kind of kitchen stuff, the with the cherries and the blues? They have pie plates and they have
Mm.
oven mitts and that. Well, actually, I discovered that the oven mitts and the pot warmers matched my dress. So I'm kind of wondering if they decided to do that with the scraps from
You
that dress.
continued on with that pattern. Well,
Yeah,
if you got a good thing
exactly.
going, why
I
not?
know. I couldn't believe it. It was so funny, actually. But no, your dress was really cute too. I really loved it. Um, so, anyways, as I said, I was talking about the pins, and I do have an official happy birthday pin from Walt Disney World. But I know that you knew about the birthday pins, but it wasn't that easy for you to get one. Can you share with everybody how that all happened? What happened?
Well, like I said, I sort of had this plan in mind, and getting a birthday pin was really important. Many years ago, we had brought our son and his best friend Brad to Disneyland, and I remember his friend Brad had a birthday pin, and the boys were so excited all weekend they kept track of all the happy birthdays they got. He got like 150 or more happy birthdays from
Wow.
cast members and park attendees. So I went to City Hall to get that happy birthday pin. And it was first thing in the morning, and they were out.
Oh my
And it
gosh.
never even occurred to me they might not have the happy birthday pin.
Yeah.
And the gentleman there was so kind. He goes, if you go over to Star Traders, sometimes they have a few in the back. And we ran over to Star Traders. My husband Kevin and I went over there, and sure enough, they did have some. And lady's like, "Oh, but you got to get in line." And I was like, "Oh, okay," because I realized I just ran straight up to the counter. I was so
Oh.
excited. So then I got in line. She goes, "Here you go," and then she was so nice about it. And then I went back to City Hall to go thank the gentleman, and like I said, I kind of had this little plan in my head, and I couldn't find him. And I
Oh,
was so upset, and I was trying to ask cast members where he went, but they had already switched out their shift, and
uh,
I still regret not being able to go back and talk to him some more.
well, you know what? I think you might remember him the next time you go back. I mean, if he was wearing the plaid, was he? Was he one of the folks in the
Well,
wearing the
he
plaid?
had one of the best on. Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah,
I definitely would remember him if I
yeah,
saw him.
yeah.
And believe me, if I get to go back, I will certainly look for him.
Yeah, that's great. And now I was telling people that you had a very, very special way of sharing that day with others that makes me a little bit teary just thinking about it. But I just think it's absolutely wonderful what you did. And before we go on to that, Donna, my friend Donna, who I celebrated her birthday in Disneyland in January, she said any of the retail stores in Disneyland will have the celebration buttons as well. So if they are out at City Hall or the Star Traders, you should be able to find them in any store, which is nice to know actually. But anyways,
Mm-hmm.
please share with us, Ria, and the audience what you did and how you came to this idea, which is absolutely fantastic.
Well, as I mentioned originally, I kind of had this I don't know idea thinking I'm just going to celebrate my birthday alone, and
Right.
then I went, no, that's not, that's really not me. When
Yeah.
people get to know me, it's I kind of went the opposite and thought, but I am going to celebrate with others. And so my conclusion was, I'm going to celebrate with strangers.
Yeah.
I'm going to meet them, because that's my natural conclusion.
Okay.
So I was thinking, okay, well, how do I begin that dialogue with people? And that's why the happy birthday button was so important, because that kind of opened up a dialogue. And I decided anybody who said happy birthday to me that day, I really wanted to be able to engage with everybody. And so I got one of the official autograph books as soon as I walked into the park at Disneyland.
Hmm.
And I asked anyone who said happy birthday, would you please sign my autograph book? And then asked if they would also take a picture with me and my husband. And that is how we spent the day, the whole day. I think we only did 2 rides.
Oh,
There really was no plan to do any rides, and
yeah.
that was really just because we did it with another person and then a cast member, and but really the whole day was just spent talking to people, and it was amazing.
Oh my gosh. Now, I mean, most of us that wish somebody happy birthday, because I always try to say happy anniversary, happy birthday to somebody, just because it's their day, it's special. Now, what was the reception from people that when you asked them?
Well, I could tell that there was definitely mixed responses, and people when they started they said happy birthday to me, they probably really didn't realize what they were getting into. um,
Yeah.
uh, it was anything from surprise to then a little uncertain and confused. I could tell some people were initially very shy, and so I especially in the beginning because I was so excited.
Hmm.
And I can get a little animated, so I had to tone it down a little bit
Oh,
and reassure him, like, you could, if you could sign your name or write anything or draw a picture, it could
yeah.
be a scribble, it could be, you could tell me to just go away. That's
Oh,
okay too. I'm just excited to celebrate,
yeah.
and I could tell they realized I really was being sincere,
Yeah.
and I just tried to gauge them. But then a lot of people were very excited, and some people were very touched. A lot of things became very emotional. Some
Wow.
conversations were very short. Some
Yeah.
were very long and became very deep. And the day just progressed, and it was really incredible.
Oh my gosh. Are you able to share any of the any stories about your interactions with the various folks that you met? Because I think you did guests and cast members, right?
It was really anyone, yes.
Okay,
So
okay.
it was a variety of people from, I mean, I'm trying to narrow it down because I met so many people, from families to cast members, and it really ran the gamut of
Mm.
people. We met, I met a young girl who was so excited to practice her cursive, and
Oh.
I met a father and son, Daniel and Carl. They were so awesome, and they thought it was so cool. Daniel, thankfully, he wrote down, his name so we could connect over Instagram, and they
Oh.
go there every year to celebrate birthday together as father and son. And I thought that was so cool.
Oh.
Met an artist who had done a lot of background work on, the Spider-Man coming up over the years, and cartoons, and
Mm.
so many cast members, and custodial to, workers on the rides.
Mhm.
And then people shared things that were just, we laughed a lot of fun stories. And then there were just things that were really like hard. People just kind of broke down a little bit
Mhm.
because they said, boy, I made a point with every person I talked to, and my husband and I, to say, thank you for doing this. Thank you for celebrating my 40th birthday with me.
Mhm.
And I just wanted to let them know. I just said, I just want you to know that you matter, that I see you. And I know that a lot of times what you guys are doing maybe is a feels really thankless, but what you do really does matter to a lot of people, and you matter to me, you matter to my
Mm.
husband, and just thank you for everything that
Yeah.
you do. And some people that they just kind of broke down,
Of
and
course.
so
Yeah.
we talked a lot, and
Yeah.
it was really really incredible.
Oh, you just really hit the nail on the head because they do matter, and so many people in the service industry don't get that recognition. The day to day recognition, right? Like if they do something that somebody reports is outstanding or something, they'll get recognition. But the day to day stuff, right? And having
Mm-hmm.
somebody actually tell them thank you, for what they're doing, because a lot of us, we get caught up, right? We get caught up in the activities and the festivities, right? And sometimes
Mm-hmm.
we forget to acknowledge those guys. I know that one thing that I do, and I don't even think my family knows this, but whenever I'm in the washroom, which, sorry, that's restroom in American, uh, and you know what, I have to say that because I said that the other day, and this lady looked at me, she goes, "You mean the bathroom, like the restroom, right?" I said, "Yes." So I thought I'd get that clarified here. But at any rate, I always make a point of thanking them for keeping such a tidy bathroom, or if I see somebody like bussing tables, if I happen to be in eating somewhere, in a mall or whatever, I always thank them because, those are sort of like the thankless jobs. Those are jobs I'm sure glad that I don't have to do personally, but and it's true. Like you'd be surprised when you say a simple thank you to somebody and recognize them for their work. And it does you don't even have to be in Disney for that, just being
It's
aware,
very
right?
true.
Yeah.
I do the same thing, Kim, and I
Oh.
appreciate hearing that you're, kind of a kindred spirit.
Oh.
And I'm sure a lot of people do the same thing, and I love that you're sharing that.
Oh, well, I just, when I had learned about you, Ria, honestly, I love what you had to say because everybody wants to be acknowledged. We do. This is just who we are as people. We want to be acknowledged, and it's not difficult to acknowledge, be it a smile or just a simple thank you. I mean, I think that it's just wonderful, and I really hope that people can take away, from our conversation today on the show, and do something like that around. I think it's just going to be wonderful it's not difficult to share that the positivity, and I hate to use that as such a cliche, but it feels good to be acknowledged, and it's very easy to do. So I really hope, I challenge everybody listening to this to do it, every day, make a habit of it, right?
I couldn't agree more. And for me, I even the next morning when I woke up, I kind of went, "Oh my goodness, was that a silly thing to do?" But then I thought, no, it, we can second guess ourselves, but it's always a good idea to be kind And
Mhm.
it was very rewarding. I told a lot of people, like, hey, this is just purely selfishness on my part. I'm having the best time
Uh,
today by doing this. And
yeah.
but it really was incredibly rewarding. I had no idea what a gift it was to
Ah,
go out and just tell people, thank you, and
yeah.
have them sign a book. That is honestly priceless. I didn't read it for a couple of days because
Yeah.
I was so emotionally
Right.
overwhelmed
Right.
with just the tremendous kindness, just because I engaged in a conversation with people who turned out to, be strangers who turned out to not be strange,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it was an incredible gift, an
Oh.
amazing 40th birthday. I'll never, ever forget.
Yeah, and I think it's really neat. You're saying it was such a gift, and now you actually, I'm so glad that you thought of the autograph book because you've got something tangible. You've got a tangible memory, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
And photos.
and
And
right,
there
of
was,
course, yeah,
we didn't get photos with everybody, but
right,
some, and boy, the stories, I wish I could go back, and I feel like they're all friends. I
yeah,
really do. I wish
yeah,
I could go back and hug them, but I also feel like sometimes there's those divine appointments in our life where,
right,
you don't know what to expect, but it's
yeah,
just right there in that moment. It was really meant
yeah,
to be, and I
love it,
walk away just
yeah.
with a treasure.
I love that divine appointments. I love that. I have one other question that I want to ask you, but I want to share. It just came to my mind. It was about. I'm thinking it was about a birthday that I had 4 or 5 years ago, and my family in a I think you get it at Hobby Lobby or Michael's, whatever, a large glass jar, certain well elongated decorative glass jar with a lid. They put and at whatever birthday it was, the number of ways that they loved me, or like I think loved
Hmm.
me, and there's like well 50 notes in there that from all my family members of what they liked about me or what they loved about me. And I'll tell you, it was the cost of the jar and paper, pieces of paper, little blue cardboard pieces of paper. And but they were gifts from their heart. And I'll tell you, if I'm ever having a bad day, I look at those because it really does cheer me up. And it kind of goes for that acknowledgement part. And, if anybody is really having a trouble finding a gift or wants to do something different, I would suggest something like that, even if it Mother's
Mm.
Day come up or something, or Father's Day, because boy, the power of those words are very meaningful and would be meaningful for everybody. And it's kind of like that quiet acknowledgement, and I just think that I really, really love what you did, and I hope that more people can do something like this. Ria, what
Mm.
would you do on another birthday if you could? Because I know you love meeting people and you love chatting. Is there anything else that you have thought of that you would like to do maybe a little differently next time, or another idea that you might have had, or
I certainly have. I think
oh
there's a lot of things I was kind of kicking myself about, like, how do
oh
I reach out and how do I do more? And for me, the challenge moving forward is how do I not only do this on a birthday, but every day?
ah
Because I realize there's an opportunity to connect with people every single day. How do we really
mm,
love one another and encourage one another every day? Because I think we all need to do that more.
mm,
So my thought is, you know, to just, maybe it's a sticker or something fun, but just there's got to be a way to just simply say hello
mm,
and to engage more. And it's
mhm,
a challenge. Anytime I go to the grocery store or see a neighbor walking their dog, I just say hello, and it doesn't even matter how bad of a day I'm having,
right.
because I find pretty much every time when I engage with someone else, I'm blessed just so much more by
Comes
them.
back to
And
you,
I said,
yeah.
like I said, it's pure selfishness on my part. I'm the one who always is just rewarded abundantly by the kindness of everybody else in return.
I like that idea of a sticker. And I'll tell you something, there's somebody down our road that changes up a sign once in a while, and it's quite a large sign in their front lawn, and it will say something like, "You're not alone," or
Yeah.
"You matter." And I've seen some of these signs around in our neighborhood, and I love that. And I'm thinking, if you had stickers saying that, I don't know, "You matter," or whatever, that just is kind of giving me an idea as well, because you never know who you're coming across. Everybody has, stuff that they're dealing with. Every single person. There's not one
Mhm.
person on this planet that isn't dealing with things. And you've just given me a really neat idea. So I'll have to kind of come up with something, I think, and because isn't that fun? The day, something to do daily, right? I think that would be fantastic. Yeah.
Well, I know that I'm going to keep moving forward, and
Yeah.
I love being creative, so I think there's a lot of ways we can reach out to each other, and everybody has different gifts and different ways they can do it, and I would
Yeah.
love to see what everybody else comes up with.
Yeah.
And I would just encourage everyone to try, do
Yeah.
something. You'll have so much fun, and you'll meet amazing people.
I think so too. I love it. I absolutely love it. Ria, thank you so much for sharing your heart and your idea and sharing your time with us tonight. It was just lovely. And I look forward to meeting you sometime. For the audience that doesn't realize this, she actually just moved from this area in April. So she's got a lot of reasons to pop back into our neck of the woods here. So I look forward to meeting you someday, Ria, for sure.
Absolutely. Well, Kim, thank you so much. Thank you to all your listeners. And I just appreciate you. I appreciate just that you're spreading such a positive message, and just being so encouraging. And I'm still tickled by all of this. So thank you for reaching out. I
Ah,
appreciate it.
it's my pleasure. Thank you so much. You take care, all right?
Thank you.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Well, I want to welcome Gina. Thank you, Gina, so much for joining me. And Kelly and Melissa, thank you for joining me tonight. I want to mention that if you are at a Disney park and a cast member does something, for you, and you make sure you grab their name and sort of tell the department that they're in, because there could be a lot of, the same named cast members or whatnot. But Donna was saying that you can leave cast member compliments at City Hall, or on Twitter with hashtag cast member compliment, or you can even call guest experience services and grab a paper and mark this down: 714-781-4669. Now that is the number for the folks at Disneyland, and I'm pretty sure they could tell you the number at Walt Disney World if you want to report a cast member service, or something along those lines. Wanted to also welcome Alex on the show as well. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm not sure if anybody wants to give me a quick call and share a special birthday experience. I'll keep the lines open for a couple minutes here. 844-483-4763 is the line to call if you want to share about your special day, and what you did that was rather unique. And for some of you that are just joining me, welcome, Cindy, welcome to the show. For anybody that's just joining me, this is being recorded, so you can catch the playback as well. Cindy was mentioning that cast members really appreciate it. Absolutely, if you have the opportunity and you can remember, and maybe just take a special notice of those cast members, because again, we get so caught up in our day, be it in the park or not in the park. And if we can report an employee, something well done, it's sure appreciated by the manager as well as by the employees themselves. I'm going to take a call right now. Hi, John. Welcome to the show.
Howdy doody.
How are you doing?
Oh, not too bad.
Oh, it's good to hear from you.
Thank you. I'm glad I caught your show tonight. I had posted it. I keep thinking it was at 8:30, 5:30 your time, and
Ah,
it's
yeah.
6:30 our time here. So
Yeah. Yeah, I
I
had to
keep.
change it. I had to change it a little bit earlier because my tech guy has a university schedule that I had to organize with the show. So otherwise, I wouldn't be able to do it. But, anyways, go ahead, John.
You got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
I had a nice birthday experience a few years ago. I was at Magic Kingdom on February the 4th, and
Okay.
they made me the Grand Marshal that day.
Oh, oh my gosh.
And then they took special photos, and I got all of those for at no cost, and then they even gave me a voucher and treated me to lunch.
Well, that is really neat. And so, I mean, did they see you coming from the gates? Like, how in the world did that happen? That's so
Oh,
awesome.
the guy that does the scouting for the Grand Marshals, he saw my birthday badge and
Oh,
everything, so he came up to me and asked me if I would not mind, being a Grand Marshal, and I said certainly. And I'd love to be a Grand Marshal. So, and I got to
wow.
ride in the new car they had gotten and everything, and
Oh
so
my
it was just a real
gosh.
special time to be chosen as Grand Marshal for on your birthday.
Yeah, I'll say. How did it feel to ride in that car in the parade? Everybody just, waving at you.
It's kind of different, you go up to Frontierland and
Okay.
you wait, and they bring the car just outside the gate, and then
Uh-huh.
you get in there, and then they load you in, and then they bring you around. So then they'd also picked up, had chosen a lady from Chicago and her daughter, and they were in the back, and I was in the front area. So then they let us down in the parade, and they told us to keep smiling and waving, and they gave us Mickey Mouse ear hats to wear,
Oh,
everything.
gosh.
I always feel like the Mouseketeer Club when if I put on my Mickey Mouse ears caps.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. That is so wonderful. I never knew that you had that opportunity. I think that's so fun. I'll never forget. This is quite a few years ago, and there was a family in front of us going through the turnstile, and I was so surprised to see them. They were chosen to go to be in as grand marshals, and it was so funny. And I thought, oh my gosh, out of all these thousands of people here, the people that were in front of us in line got chosen, which I think would be absolutely really, really fun. Oh my goodness.
It is a
Oh,
wonderful experience, and
yeah.
I've even seen people turn it down.
Oh,
When the spotters are out there trying to find, the perfect family to put into the
oh,
car, and I've even people just look at them and go, "No, thank you," and just shake their head and keep walking.
oh my gosh.
And I go, "You don't know what you're missing."
Oh, wow. That's like a once in a million like opportunity for sure. Like that.
Exactly.
Wow.
It is.
Wow.
It is a once in a million opportunity to be chosen, because there's
Yeah.
so many people in the
Yeah.
park, and not everybody gets that opportunity to
Yeah.
be chosen.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. Oh my gosh. I'd love to see if I don't know if did you have anybody to take photos of that by any chance or
Yes, they did
oh,
take photos. They gave me free photos and everything,
okay.
and then actually that was actually my second time of riding in the car.
Oh my gosh.
The car was made at Disneyland, and I was chosen once before to be Grand Marshal, and I was the first
Wow.
wheelchair to be driven in that car. It was a wheelchair made friendly.
Oh my word. Twice. Well, that's like unheard of. That's
But I didn't have any family to ride with me, and there used to be one of the Streetmosphere people down in the citizens of Main Street.
right.
His name was Scoop Sanderson,
Uh-huh.
and he was the town reporter for the Main Street Gazette,
Ah.
and he was also town councilman. But
Oh.
he came up there and met with me, and he sat in as my family, and drove down
Oh.
through the park with me, and that just really made my heart swell big that day.
Oh my goodness. That I love it. I absolutely love it. I love those guys too, the citizens of Main Street. They're just wonderful as well. John, if you have a chance in the next couple of days, could you post some of those photos? I think that's super cool.
I'll have to find them.
Yeah. Well, a few days, a week, sometime.
I will try to find them.
Okay.
anyway, but I'll probably have to then take my camera and take pictures of it because I don't have them
Right. Yeah.
on the line there. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
but I will look for them
Okay.
and
I'd love
hope
to see
be
that.
able to post them.
Yeah, that would be fantastic. Thank you so much, John, for sharing. That is so awesome to hear. I can't
Thank
wait
you
to
for
see.
the program tonight. It was very nice.
Oh, well, you're very welcome. I can't wait to see the photos. You take care, all right?
All righty, Kimberly. Take care
Okay.
now.
Yeah,
Bye.
thanks. Bye. So I've got a couple of the guests. Cindy was talking that she had received a hand drawn picture of Buzz and Woody from a guest that she will treasure forever. Well, that's kind of interesting. I wonder how that managed how you managed, Cindy, to get that from a guest. And was the guest maybe an animator or imagineer in this behind the scenes? Donna was saying that she leaves at least three cast member compliments every time she visits the parks, which is, I think, a really neat idea to kind of give yourself a goal. Then the cast members get a special recognition and it goes in their permanent file and helps them when they're up for a raise or promotion, which I think is an excellent idea. She was also mentioning that she asked the Jungle Cruise skipper for a free map and they were out, so he drew the map on a nearby fallen leaf. Such a great memory. My goodness, to draw that on a leaf is kind of a talent in itself. Anyways, folks, it's Terry, she goes, can you hear Ria's love of people coming through her voice? I can say she's even more kind and loving in person. She touches people in ways she doesn't even realize. I will take to heart her encouragement to thank people every day. Thank you for sharing Ria's special message. Oh, Terry, it's absolutely my pleasure. I just got chills because this is what this show is all about, and I really it's just a platform to another platform for me to share other people's stories. And we really are some of our stories, right? We all have various comedy or tragedy or adventure or whatever types of stories, and that's how we connect. And I think it's really important to share that with others. Folks, thank you so much for joining me tonight. As I said, it's my son's birthday tonight, so I'm going to have to get going here right away. But I want to thank you so much for joining me tonight, and please try to spread the word a little bit. Sharing those little things, a smile, a thank you to others. And if you are in the parks, try to make a point of recognizing, acknowledging the cast members, as well as when you're out and about, whether you're at a grocery store, Costco, or whatever. Try to make a point of recognizing somebody doing a good job. And it's just a really lovely reminder. Thank you, Ria, that it's important to share with others and acknowledge others for sure. So I want to say, all of you, to all of you out there, be well, take care, and a very good night until next time. Bye for now.